Hello everyone and welcome back to the Film School Rejects podcast. I'm your co-host Billy Howells and joining me is...
Skye Collacott Williamson, hello!
So, this week we are, let's say we're going to be a bit premature. So, the Oscars, we are only in September. The Oscars are not until March. But the Oscar nominations come out in January. And... You know, we're starting to get to that point where, you know, the big Oscar movies are starting to come out. We're starting to hear all the buzz around them, what might get nominated, what might not get nominated. So I thought it would be interesting to kind of give some early predictions, speak about the films we think could get nominated, the films we don't think will get nominated. And then, just on a personal level, I think this would be really interesting to look back at in January or when the Oscars happen and go, oh, that didn't get nominated, that did get nominated.
Yes, and because we know better than the Academy, obviously.
To be fair, I think we do sometimes.
Oh, sometimes they make heinous and idiotic decisions. I still remember Emily Perez.
Yeah, I was going to say,
goodness.
As long as we don't get another Amelia Perez this year.
I don't think we have got one. I think it'd be fine.
I mean, there's always an award season villain. Last year it was Amelia Perez. I think the year before it was this film Naiad starring Jodie Foster. Like, there's always a film that the Academy will nominate for something that is generally disliked. Like, I remember Bohemian Rhapsody was the award season villain the year that movie came out.
Yeah, but that was a good movie.
I know, but generally people did not like it.
You can have an over-awarded film for sure. Like, I love Oppenheimer. I kind of do think it deserves all the awards, right? But I can understand why it gets really annoying when you see the same people win it over and over again. But Amelia Perez did not, deserve any of its recognition of awards.
No. Zoe Saldana should not have won Best Supporting Actress for that. I mean, have you got any Best Picture predictions? Just looking at the films that are coming out, are there any films that you kind of look at the actors in it, the directors, and go, oh, that could get a nomination?
The new Leonardo DiCaprio film that comes out, is it this Friday or next Friday?
This Friday, yes.
This Friday. I imagine, I did see it. I'm not the biggest Leonardo DiCaprio fan, and he is always in Oscar films. I'd say they're more Oscar bait films. And I'm hoping that for once he delivers. So it's definitely it's going to be nominated. Like, I can tell you that.
I mean, the buzz on one battle after another, I can tell you, is insane. The reviews for this movie are saying, like, it is one of the best movies of the decade. There are many people predicting this is not just going to be nominated for Best Picture, but going to win Best Picture. I have another film that I think that will win Best Picture. I'll discuss that later.
And is it out yet? Is it out yet?
There have been a lot of reviews out for this movie, but no, one battle after another. I mean, it's Paul Thomas Anderson directing, and he's always big. His movies always get nominated when it comes to... I mean, I don't think Inherent Vice did, but mostly, you know, Licorice Pizza, Phantom Thread. You know, his movies always tend to get nominated, and he is seen as one of these prestigious directors. And, you know, the thing with One Battle After Another is that this is his most expensive movie by far. The most one of his movies has made is $60 million or something like that. The budget for One Battle After Another is at least $130 million.
And 90% of that goes to Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, but, you know, apparently it justifies its budget. It is this big thriller action. I don't know. I'm going to go see it. I'm very excited. But yeah, it could win Best Picture. I think.
Okay. Speaking of genres, you just mentioned thriller. Why do you feel that some genres, I know you love comedy like Naked Gun, and horror and action like Superman, they really struggle to break into Best Picture? Why do you think that is?
I just think there's this stigma out there that these movies are seen as lesser. Just because of what they're doing. I mean, obviously Black Panther got a Best Picture nomination, but in general, I just think, comic book movies, comedies, they're looked down upon. Martin Scorsese, one of the greatest filmmakers, in my opinion, the greatest filmmaker.
I can agree with that.
He made comments saying comic book movies, they're just like roller coaster rides. He doesn't see those as proper movies. And I think that is the general outlook when it comes to the industry. Some of these big movies, they'll get like best visual effects nominations, they'll get score nominations, but they struggle to get into the big categories. I know you won't indulge me in this, but when The Naked Gun came out, I said, look, if the Academy were brave enough, they would give Liam Neeson a Best Actor nomination, because what he is doing in that movie, he is so perfect in that role. Nobody else could pull that off. And I do really think that is something the Academy needs to do, is broaden their horizons a bit. Because
Okay, so if you were to nominate one from each category, action, horror and comedy, into Best Picture, which films this year or have not been released would you probably put in there?
Well, if we go to horror, this has been a really good year for horror. And I can
especially like directing wise, they've really upped it.
Yeah.
Like I'm very happy with that. Because directing in horror can sometimes be very much a miss. What I do love about directing in horror is you can really take some long shots with how you direct it. Especially when you do a Dutch angle. I believe every horror film should have a Dutch angle once. That's my viewpoint.
But, if we look at horror, Sinners. Sinners is still my favourite movie of this year. And I can guarantee that movie's not just going to get Best Picture nomination. I think it'll get Best Director nomination. I think it will get a lot of nominations.
It banged out numbers. It definitely deserves a place. So, what would you say is probably the most chaotic long shot? That you, other than Naked Gun, because you've expressed that, what would it be?
When you
and it
say...
can be, you can be for any category.
When you say long shot, do you mean a film that could get nominated? That could even be in the conversation, or a movie that I love that has no chance of being nominated?
I think a movie that people will be very surprised, one, it even got nominated, and two, if it wins.
Oh,
it's a very
Yeah.
When was it when Flow won, that was a complete long shot for it to win. And I think long shots really do restore faith in that people are actually watching these films, and it's not just a popularity contest with just prestige in it.
I mean, I think I'm going to say 28 Years Later.
Okay. I think that did well.
It did all right. The thing is, you naturally want to class 28 Years Later as a horror. But you watch the movie, and it's got horror elements, but it is more of a drama. But also another movie that I really love this year is Warfare.
Okay.
And Civil War last year, that was my second favourite movie of last year. And that, I don't even think that got any Oscar nominations whatsoever. And I honestly really think it deserved it. Not just because I loved it, but because it feels relevant. With Warfare, there's so much in there about it. So many war movies, I don't want to say they try to justify the war. But,
oh no, they definitely do. I think that's okay to say that.
But
they try to justify the history that we present to them, right? Which is why I like other films that don't do that. What was it? All on the Western Front, right? Which is obviously a German perspective of World War One. And also Germany did not win World War One, and they're very demonized and villainized for the whole world wars. So it's very interesting to see a take on all the young men, which obviously Warfare also has the perspective of these young men. And I still remember the end credits when you see the actual people, obviously they're blurred out, but that really hits home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. Whereas Warfare, it simply just presents the situation. A bit like Dunkirk, it starts in the war and it ends in the war. There's no real space for character development. It is simply, especially Warfare, where it's this 90 minutes in real time. It's just showing you the horrors of this situation, and you really come away from it going, God, I never want to go to war. And I really think warfare does deserve to be in the conversation because it does go to those deeper levels. But I just don't really hear anyone talking about, like, especially some of the performances as well. This is the thing with the Oscars. There are only so many movies that could be nominated. So that's why it's so inevitable that every year we're going to be pissed off at something that's not nominated. Let's remember, because today they nominate 10 movies for Best Picture, right? 10, 15 years ago, they'd nominate about 5 to 7. You know, so they've already given more space for things to be nominated.
Yeah, because a movie like comes out every other day, a new movie is hitting the market. And we also have, like, obviously globalization, and we all know the different foreign films that are also coming out. And then they also hit the cinemas. And we have, like, films that just come out only on Amazon or only on Netflix. And these films can get nominated as well. It's a little bit less likely. But we have had, like, Netflix films be nominated. And I think Roma was a Netflix film,
yes. Marriage Story.
Exactly. So these can win, even if you like it's on a weird platformer that you think won't win it. It can, which I think is always like a good thing. But if you extend it even more, I think it would become very chaotic. So let's talk about performances.
Yes.
Right. What performances do you think people are already like buzzing on, like that people you know, or the internet, Letterboxd? And do you think they live up to the hype, on your personal opinion, when you saw it?
So, I don't know if this is going to be controversial, but I'm about to make a prediction for who I think is going to win Best Actor.
Okay.
I think Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is going to win Best Actor for The Smashing Machine.
I want that, and I want that to win. I want that to be nominated 100%, because I've seen it. I have very high hopes, and I love it when, like, it was like last year with The Substance, when an actor comes back and they're like, yeah, I've done stupid movies, I've got my paycheck, I left, but I can act. Like, I can give you emotion.
And Brendan Fraser for The Whale.
Exactly. They can come back.
That's the thing, and the Academy loves those kind of stories, which is why I think The Rock is going to win, because the Academy loves an actor going from I'm not going to say comedies with The Rock, but lesser recognised movies, let's say.
Thrill movies, that's what I would call them.
And he's talked about this as a reason for doing this movie, that the industry kind of put him in a box. The early buzz I've heard about his performance in The Smashing Machine is, he's definitely going to get a nomination. But again, because the Academy loves that comeback, I really think he's going to win. I
really do hope he pulls it through. Like, obviously, the trailers that I've seen, it looks really like his acting has definitely stepped up. If it's enough just for a nomination or an Oscar, that's like a different story. I think at least a nomination probably would be good. And I think it would also lead to the possibility of getting other roles.
Well, one of the reasons I think he might win is that I'm assuming Martin Scorsese has seen The Smashing Machine, because Dwayne Johnson has already been cast in a Martin Scorsese movie.
Well, that's going to be good news.
Yeah.
If Martin Scorsese looks at your work and goes, get him in.
Like, Martin Scorsese doesn't just hire anyone.
He hired Timothy Chalamet for an ad, and I was like, there we go. So recognition. Now get him in your movie, mate. Like, come on. I need a bit more Timothy. Imagine Timothy Chalamet in the Martin Scorsese movie. Oscar right there. Just give it to them. Obviously, I think Leonardo DiCaprio will be nominated. Do you think he will win, though? Is this going to be his second win?
I think it is between... I think it's between three people. Mm-hmm. I think it's between Leonardo DiCaprio, Dwayne Johnson, and Daniel Day-Lewis, because he has his first movie role in about 8 years this year. And, he is generally seen as the greatest actor of all time. So he's absolutely going to get the nomination. And, because it is a bit of a comeback, he could win.
And did you like the movie he's in, though?
I haven't seen it, but just because it's Daniel Day-Lewis, I just know he's going to get nominated.
The films that you have seen this year, Are there any upcoming actors or like Dwayne Rock Johnson who have been dismissed in like the past that you think really put in like a fantastic acting?
Here's one, and I know you're probably going to agree on this. I don't know if he's going to get the nomination. I hope he does. But Best Supporting Actor, I want David Johnson for The Long Walk to get a nomination.
Yes. No, I can. Oh my goodness, no, I really want to talk about it, but we're not talking about The Long Walk. I really want that to be in categories. I don't think it's a super long shot because one, it is a Stephen King. I know it's horror, but it's a Stephen King film. It's a thriller. I think it has a chance to get in there. In one category, I'd like it to be nominated.
Yeah, I'd love it to be nominated as well, but I don't know whether it's
big enough.
Yeah, or whether it's a bias against the genre, or I don't know why it's not in the conversation more, but it should be, because it's a fucking great movie. Okay, so here's an interesting one, because one of the big Oscar movies last year was Wicked, and obviously this year we have Wicked for Good coming out. So what do you think Wicked for Good's Oscar chances are? Obviously without having seen it.
Without having seen it, I think Ariana Grande's chances at the smaller awards, not the Oscars, I think it's higher than it was last year. I say that without watching, obviously there's more Oscar films this year. I do feel like the women have pulled through this year, but last year it was a lot more competitive in the female categories. Yeah. So I would say at present, I think she has a higher chance, and also because she's done her Oscar run before.
Yeah.
I think this, but it's a sequel, so.
You see, I've been very on the fence about how Wicked for Good is going to do Oscar-wise, because I have been a bit more dubious about it as a movie in general.
You don't have the shock anymore.
Well, with the first
Wicked, my goodness, it's really good.
Well, because they're splitting the stage show into two, that like it always felt like the first half of Wicked could be its own movie. Whereas my big worry has always been that like the second act of Wicked, it doesn't feel like there's a movie there. Like the second act of Wicked,
because a lot of it is Wizards of Oz.
Yeah, the second act of Wicked is an hour long. And I think the confirmed runtime of Wicked for Good is 2 hours and 20 minutes. So I'm very intrigued to see what they've added. But I think the more marketing I've seen, and the more I've seen of Wicked for Good, the more I've become confident in its Oscar chances. But I don't think it's going to get any acting nominations, because they had the acting nominations last year. I just don't see the Academy wanting to do that.
No, that's why I think she would get it for the smaller ones that will re-nominate her. Because I also think with the story of Act 2, for Ariana Grande's character of Glinda, she has more acting diversity than she does in the first one, where she's just this little bubbly thing, right? Like, she has her secrets, and she's going through this tragedy of losing someone. So she has more to play with than she did originally. So that's why I think in the smaller categories, like maybe the BAFTAs, she could get, not BAFTAs, SAG Awards, I think she'll be able to get one for that.
Well, I also think Wicked for Good's going to be more of... Obviously, the first Wicked did have a focus on both Elphaba and Glinda, but it was more of a focus, more leaning towards Elphaba. Whereas Wicked for Good, I think it's going to be more of a two-hander thing. So I think Ariana Grande is going to get more chance to shine. I do also think that there's a chance Wicked for Good might get a Best Director nomination. Because, as I mentioned, Wicked was one of the most nominated movies last year. It got loads of nominations, but one of the things it didn't get was Best Director. And there was a bit of upheaval about that. That, John M. Chu was the guy who brought all these elements together, all these things that got nominated, but he was one of the only things to not get nominated. So I do think there's a chance that the Academy, if Wicked for Good obviously lives up to the original, that there is a chance the Academy looks at that and goes, okay, let's kind of bring this back a bit, let's give him what he deserves.
Which 2025 film do you think will sweep the technical categories?
Oh,
This might not be something you've thought about. It's something I think about a lot.
Okay, that's interesting. I mean, when you say technical, for me, I think cinematography, production design,
Yeah,
visual effects.
editing, sound. Not like
yeah.
soundtrack. You could probably include soundtrack, but I do mean like cinematography and editing.
I mean, I think there's a chance. Not that I think it would definitely happen, but I think at least maybe in editing and sound, I think there's a chance F1 gets nominated.
I think sound is probably definitely most likely.
Yeah, Superman, I think it will get visual effects, and I think it might get score as well.
I don't know if you pay attention to like costume design or anything.
Yeah. I'm very curious as to if Wicked, going back to Wicked, if that'll get a best costume nomination, because the costumes I assume are very similar, but again, it won best costumes last year. And it also won Best Production Design. So I'm really curious as looking
if
at
they'll give it another
categories.
nomination. Because it is a separate movie, but it's still like a franchise.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cheating out a smaller film, maybe, out of that nomination, because smaller films generally do win those kind of categories. So that'd be interesting to see how the Academy treats a sequel. I feel like Jacob Elordi, I think he might pull through with the Frankenstein film. But I can't remember when it's released, though.
It does. It comes out in November. Frankenstein's an interesting one.
It is a Netflix movie.
Yeah.
Though, that I'm aware of.
It is Guillermo del Toro, who won for The Shape of Water. So, definitely need to keep that in mind. And Nightmare Alley, his last movie, that got a Best Picture nomination. So I think that's something to keep in mind.
I'm going to be honest, like, the Gothic genre and the whole Frankenstein story can be done really beautifully. And I think it can be worth an Oscar nomination.
Yeah.
As long as it's... Because obviously I saw the response when it was... what festival was it shown at?
I want to say it was either Venice or TIFF.
I think it was Venice. I think it was. I don't think it was TIFF.
I'll check.
Because I saw all the recognition from that.
It was Venice. It was Venice.
Which, and also, I never really pictured him in that film until I saw him standing in front of all the crowds, and I thought, oh, you know what? I can actually kind of see. I can see it.
And the thing with Venice as well is that Venice is one of the big prestigious festivals where the Oscar movies do play. It's where The Smashing Machine premiered, and the film also going on to festivals. TIFF. That's one of a lot of people kind of see that as a lot of people do see TIFF as less prestigious, but often the movie that wins the People's Choice Awards, which is their kind of palme d'or, so to speak, that often gets...
they have more speaking involved though in TIFF. Yeah. I feel like that's what it is. Like, they have like the carpet and everything, and they watch the film and you hear the reviews, and that's kind of it for Venice. But for TIFF, you get the directors talking about it, you have the actors engaged, and I feel like that adds more to what the people want and the audience.
Speaking of TIFF, the movie that won the People's Choice Award this year was Hamnet. And I have to say, this is the film I think is going to win Best Picture.
Okay.
Do you know about Hamnet at all?
No.
So Hamnet stars Jessie Buckley and Paul Mescal. It's I think it's about Shakespeare and Anne Hathaway and I think it's like the setup for Shakespeare writing the play
Hamlet.
Hamlet, yeah. I can't believe I forgot the name of it. But I think, the main reason I think it's going to win Best Picture is A, the reviews have been incredible, but B, and more importantly, this movie is directed by Chloe Zhao, and she directed Nomadland, which won Best Picture the year it came out. It won Best Director. It really sweeped, and it really looks like a movie that the Oscars are going to adore and love, and I can just see it winning Best Picture.
Oh, and also I've just read it's based on a book.
Oh yeah.
It has all the little subcategories.
It has all the ingredients.
What the Oscars do not tell you, these are some of the subcategories that must be in your film for it to be considered. Yeah. Right, we have some quick track places to get from the Oscars. War, that can boom, that can get you to. We have based on a novel, biopics, boom, but within reason. They can also be completely get out completely, can't touch it at all, and then already a nominated Best Director previously. Those are the 4 categories, unless you want to add another one. That will get you straight to nomination.
Yeah.
You won't win. I'm not saying you'll win, but you will get automatic nomination without... Like, Oppenheimer is a Christopher Nolan movie. That, we don't even have to think about it. That was going to get straight to it. Odyssey, I don't know if it's going to be terrible. It's a Christopher Nolan film.
Odyssey
will go straight. It will go straight to it.
Yeah.
Like, because Christopher Nolan's not going to do, like, a flunk movie.
No. Okay, so maybe to finish off, I doubt you have done this, so if you haven't, then I'll just go ahead. But have you got any final predictions for Best Picture?
I do want to put 28 Years Later on it.
Okay.
I do want to put it.
Okay. Well, I currently have the 10 movies I believe, at this moment, the 10 movies I believe will get nominated for Best Picture.
Okay.
How true this is. So I'm going to go from...
I'm going to give it a possibility out of 10.
I'm going to go from least likely to win to most likely to win. So I think number 10, Avatar Fire and Ash. I just think James Cameron, the last 2 Avatar movies, they've been nominated for Best Picture. You just don't doubt James Cameron.
I do doubt James Cameron.
Well, you should.
But he's an Oscar darling, so...
Exactly. Like, the last 3 movies he's made, Titanic, Avatar, Avatar 2, all been Oscar nominated.
Okay, I know it's the same director, but don't put Titanic in the same category.
And number 9, Wicked for Good. I don't think it has any chance of winning, but I do think it will definitely get in there. Next up, The Smashing Machine. I think this is going to be nominated over Marty Supreme, going back to the Safdies. I don't think Marty Supreme's going to be nominated. Jay Kelly. This is the next movie from Noah Baumbach. He made Marriage Story. It stars George Clooney and Adam Sandler. I'm hearing great things about it, and just the nature of the movie. It just feels like an Oscar movie. Sinners, obviously. I think it's going to sweep. It's one of the biggest movies of the year, and I really think the industry loves what Ryan Coogler did with that movie. And, even just how he negotiated the deal with it, that he gets the rights in a certain amount of years, that's pretty unprecedented. And just because it's an original movie and it had that amount of success, that's just not going to be overlooked. Here's one we haven't discussed. It was just an accident. This was the movie that won the Palme d'Or at Cannes this year. And I don't know too much about it, but I know the reviews have been incredible. And, the Academy typically nominates at least one foreign movie in Best Picture these days. And I've got another one that I'm going to bring up.
I think that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, and I think, I love the director, Jafar Panahi. So I really want to see him get his Oscar flowers. Next up, I don't know if you've heard of this, but I think it would totally be your kind of movie. Ella McKay. This is directed by James L. Brooks. It stars Emma Mackey, Jamie Lee Curtis. James L. Brooks, he's not made a movie in a good number of years because his last few movies weren't well received. But he's made some Oscar darlings in like the 80s and 90s. And watching the trailers for this really seems like it's going to be a comeback. Next up, No Other Choice. This is another foreign movie from Park Chan-wook. And I think a lot of people just really want to see him get his flowers. He's been an acclaimed filmmaker. I want to say he made Old Boy. And I just think people really want to see him get a nomination. And then next up, we've already discussed these two. One Battle After Another. And Hamnet. I
think One Battle After Another has the highest chance. And we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I mean, I flip between the two, but I think it's going to build. Once we get closer to Oscar Day, I think it's going to build up to, it's going to be One Battle After Another, it's going to be One Battle After Another, then Hamnet will take it at the last minute.
Okay, that's your prediction. I like that. Yeah. I like it.
So it's going to be an interesting Oscar season. I'm excited. I'm nervous because the thing is, we talk about Oscars all year round, and I know we complain about them whenever they do come around, but I do love talking about the Oscars.
My favourite thing about the Oscars, do you have one category that you, as soon as it's announced, you watch all of them? Because I do.
Ooh,
My category
is...
is... Yeah, if I haven't seen it, I will watch every single film nominated in soundtrack. Soundtrack is like so important to me.
Yeah.
That I will watch it.
I mean, I do try to watch all the Best Picture movies, but I don't always get around. Like, I remember the one movie I didn't see, not this year, but the year before, was Anatomy of a Fall. I just couldn't be bothered, quite frankly, because it was like 2.5 hours, and I felt like it just kind of got to a point where I felt I was forcing myself to watch it. But generally,
I'm really bad at the animated. I normally never watch any of the animated. And I go, oh, I don't know that one.
But because the bigger movies do get nominated here, I do typically end up having seen all the visual effects movies by the time the nominations roll around.
It's because Billy lives in the cinema.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, I think I'm on track to see 100 new releases this year, which I've never done before.
I believe in you. You can do it.
I'm currently at 66, and I think I can get there.
Okay, we could probably do that.
Exactly. Like, I've had a look at the release schedule and the movies that have come out that I haven't seen yet, and I think they all add up. I think I'm going to end up doing it.
I'm looking forward to Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia campaign for British Awards. Yes. That's what I like, the British Awards much more than I like the Oscars, and I'm here to say that. Every single I feel Warfare will also, I think, sweep some of the British Awards.
Yes, definitely, because that is a very British cast, so I think.
It's very
and also Alex Garland's a British filmmaker, so
that's one. And then Paul Mescal as well, if he's filmed as well.
I didn't really talk about him in Best Actor, but he's got a shot as well. Jerry Allen White for Springsteen. There's a lot.
Yeah, because they count it's Irish and British awards, isn't it? Normally in the he'll be counted.
I think the most stacked this year is Best Actor. There's a lot competing for Best Actor this year, so I'm very intrigued to see how that turns out.
If it doesn't turn out well from you guys,
we'll complain about it.
We'll complain. Yeah. It'll be a whole episode of complaining.
Let us know what you think might get a Best Picture nomination, what you think could be an Oscar darling this year. Thank you for watching / listening. I can't speak today. Thank you for watching / listening. There we go. I've been Billy Howells.
I've been Skye Collacott Williamson.
Goodbye.